Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Christy, also known as Dat Keto Lady. We are ready to start with our next episode for my Thanksgiving menu series, and that is dirty rice. We're gonna be cooking up some dirty rice, and although the name might sound like it's not keto friendly, trust me when I tell you, it definitely is. So rice is not something we would normally eat on a ketogenic diet or a ketogenic way of eating, low carb, that kind of thing. I have a good replacement for that. So don't worry, don't stress. You can have your dirty rice this holiday season. Before we get started, I would love it if you would hit the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, because that's how my channel is going to grow. And it's a slow process and I'm working on it, so I need your support, and I am very thankful for your support. Also, if you haven't checked out my e-cookbook, Big Easy Keto, it is available on datketolady.com. It's $12 and it has 63 of my personal recipes in it. And while it is an e-cookbook, you can print it out after purchase if you would like. So let's get cooking. Before we get started, let's just quickly run over the basic ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe. We have salt, we have pepper, we have some beef broth. And the reason that I chose this brand versus others, now normally I like to get it at Trader Joe's, but I went to Walmart and this is what they had. So you can see on here that there is 1 carb per serving, and that's for the whole can. The one thing I wanted to mention that when you're looking at ingredients is there might be things in here, like there is cane sugar, but it's listed as the last ingredient on here, which means it has the least amount of that ingredient in the product. So there were other options available at the store, but they had sugar or cane sugar or honey or something like that much higher on the list. And for 1 carb for the whole can, you really can't beat that. Then we're going to need some type of Cajun seasoning. Y'all know I love Tony's. Minced garlic, 1 bag of cauliflower rice. We're gonna need ground beef, green onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, an onion, and 4 tablespoons of butter. So let's get cooking, y'all. In my cast iron skillet, I have 4 tablespoons of butter. To that, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of red bell pepper, a 1/2 cup of green bell pepper, a 1/2 cup of onion, and a 1/2 cup of green onion. I'm gonna cook this down. I want my seasonings to get really tender, and I have my heat over like a medium high heat. I'm gonna mix it up, and then I will add the ground beef to it. Whenever our onions start to be a little bit on the translucent side, we're going to add in our ground beef. This is a 1/2 pound of ground beef. I normally use like an 80-20 blend because I do like to have it, I guess I'll say I like the fattier blend of meat. It's a little bit tastier to me. Now, if you want to use a little more than a 1/2 pound, you absolutely can. This to me is just an accent to the rice, quote unquote, aspect of the dish. So it shouldn't be, you know, like a ground meat dish. It should definitely have more of the rice prominent in it. To my mixture, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Cajun or Creole or Tony's, whatever you want, seasoning, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Now I'm just gonna let this cook down really well. I want it to get that caramelized texture and flavor. I have my heat still on a medium high, and I want my chopped seasonings to all be very tender. Okay, I can see a notable difference in my seasoning blend, and you can see I'm getting that little bit of, you know, that stickiness on the bottom. That's perfect. That's what I want. Now we are going to add in the cauliflower rice and a couple other ingredients. I've made essentially a well in the middle of my seasoning, and I have my bag of cauliflower rice. It is frozen. You just gotta put it in there frozen. No big deal. I have taken my heat up to a very high medium, like not just medium high, closer to high. You want it to be closer to high, but not like full on flame, so to speak. So I'm gonna break this up. And you can see how the rice is the cauli rice. Every time I say rice, just know I mean cauli rice. You can see how it's changing color. That's because we have browned all of our seasoning and our meat mixture really well. So the cauli rice is going to take on that same color. After we've mixed everything around really well, I have 1/4 of a cup of beef broth that I'm gonna add to it. And then I'm gonna let it just cook down, let the cauliflower rice just really absorb the flavor. And at the same time, I want it to get a little bit on the tender side. Had it cooking for a little while, and I'm gonna give it one last stir. And I'm gonna turn my heat off. That's it, we're done. That concludes today's video featuring a delicious recipe of dirty rice. Wasn't that easy? It was super easy to do. The hardest part was actually chopping up seasonings, and in reality you can buy them already chopped up in the freezer section. So that is a time-saving tip. Would love it if you would give me a thumbs up on the video, share it, subscribe to my channel, tell everybody about it. But more importantly, I want y'all to make the recipes. I had an overwhelming request for holiday themed recipes that would help us stay on track during this festive, partying, celebrating time of the year. So my goal is to help you all with that. If you haven't checked me out on Instagram, go see what that's all about. I'm Dat Keto Lady there as well. I post a lot of content, and if you don't have my e-cookbook, go check that out as well. It's on datketolady.com. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all the next time when we do another Thanksgiving menu series episode. It's gonna be dinner rolls. It's gonna be dinner rolls. Yes, we're gonna have dinner rolls to go on our plate for this meal that we're slowly but surely assembling. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.